We start.
Oh, wait a minute.
Good evening, everybody. This is the March 18, 2021 meeting of the Dighton Public Library Board of Trustees. My name is Ron O'Connor, chairperson of the Board of Trustees, and we'll begin the meeting with just a reminder to everybody who may have joined the meeting that this meeting is being recorded, and we'll do all votes by roll call. So with that introduction, I'll turn it over to my colleague Allison on the trustees for her to introduce herself.
Allison Sembalisti, library trustee.
I'm Jocelyn Tavares, library director.
Great, thank you. And Eve Marie Cabral may be joining us, but hasn't arrived yet. And when she does, we'll have her introduce herself. The first order of business is a review of, well, the January 21st meeting minutes have been approved. Is that, or is that to be done?
That is to be done.
Sorry. So the first order of business is approval of the minutes of the January 21, 2021 minutes of the trustees. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to the minutes of January 21st, 2021.
Okay, we had a motion by Allison to approve the minutes. As chair, I'll step out of chair to second that motion. This is Ron O'Connor. And any discussion of the minutes? Hearing no discussion, we have a second to the motion to approve the minutes. All in favor of approval of the minutes? We'll do this again by roll call vote. Ron O'Connor, aye.
Allison Sembalisti, aye.
Okay, the motion passes. The minutes are approved. Thank you.
Ron, would you like me to put the agenda up on the screen? Or
that would be good. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be helpful since this is being recorded. Folks can see what's on the agenda. Excellent. Excellent. So next item under old business is updates on library operations. I'll turn that over to you, Jocelyn, for an update.
So we are now with the governor's latest lightening or lessening of restrictions. We are at 50% capacity, meaning that we are allowed to have 5 people in the building. Staff, we're not open to the public. We are starting to integrate all the staff into the building. This is the first time that the entire staff has been in the building working together in a year.
Wow.
It's been in my view a little rocky, but I'm trying to work through it. The stress of the pandemic in general has taken a toll, and just previous staff dynamic and issues are just kind of, I think, bubbling up just as a matter of course, but I'm hoping to work through it. But that's where we are.
Well, thank you. Thank you to the staff for all they've done in the past year. I know it hasn't been easy, and I can imagine there's a transition to just all being back together, working together, but it's just a good opportunity to acknowledge what a difficult year it has been and how extraordinary the staff has been in standing up to the pandemic and the the disruption to operations. So thank you, Jocelyn, for your leadership.
Yes, thank you, Jocelyn.
I hope to get through this little bit too. Um, now, Town Administrator Mullen has begun as of the 8th, so he's been here 2 weeks. And initially, he was charged with help, coming up with a plan to get the library open again. I'm guessing the vaccine has taken precedence in all of his planning. So we haven't actually gotten to meet on I haven't really met with him to discuss anything about the library yet. However, I've also been looking for any of the new municipal building study committee meetings. I know they met once for an organizational meeting before the holiday, maybe, or at least before the new year. I don't see where they've met again. I can't tell. I'm just trying to see where we stand in between the talk of a new fire station and a new highway department garage. Obviously, I know that we have the money that was allocated at special town meeting for the repairs, or I don't know the right word for it, the small renovations to be made so that we can be open. And that's kind of, there's just not a lot of movement on that. I don't know where things are happening. So that's the update on the lack of update, I guess. Not to the light of those things.
And that money has been earmarked, so that, how does that work? Like, say that doesn't take place for a year or something, is that money in earmarked for renovations slash upgrades, so the building can?
Yeah, that there's no time limit on that. It's all set for us. As far as I know, there's no time limit on it. But the work needs to be done, I guess as a side note in operations, I was involved with a meeting with the Board of Health and Mr. Mullen, and I can't even remember who else was involved. The fire chief, on sending information out about the vaccine and trying to identify homebound residents, and Dighton being involved in being a part of the state plan to vaccinate people who are homebound, and all of the other different pieces of information that needed to be shared regarding vaccines and the 211 system, and pre-registering. And so I sent out a library newsletter sharing a lot of that information yesterday. So I'm trying to be a good partner with the town, and just, as we do.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I do know that most of this rollout has been a nightmare. I have just gone through it trying to get my 88-year-old mother vaccinated. She had to go into the hospital, and luckily she was okay when she came back. So the pre-registration, I'm not sure how that's working, but I do know it's tough for somebody that is homebound. And I noticed there's a sign in front of Town Hall now that states if you know someone homebound, there's a number to call. So I don't know if that was yesterday.
That might have been, yeah.
which is good because I think there are a
Because-
number of people that we need to reach out to help them. And I think the library, by sending out a newsletter, is a good thing.
Yeah,
So we'll see. We always want to help, but that's all I, really have for that.
okay.
Time subscriptions. I know our subscription's coming up in April. I was notified that they want to raise the price approximately $800.
Whoa.
Oh,
What
It's
is the, what are you paying now?
we're paying about 1,200 some for our subscription. The minimum amount that they will offer is $2,002.
Hmm.
It
And
was just
so is that scaled somewhat to the number of the size of the library, or is that a flat?
yes.
It is, okay.
So when I first got notified of that, there was some sticker shock.
Yeah,
I was supposed to let them know by a certain date, but it wasn't enough time for me to respond to them and get approval from the selectmen, given the town's approval process for anything over. We have a $1,500 cap
Hmm.
subscriptions. So I haven't renewed the subscription yet. I can't tell because I don't get regular usage reports from them. If with that price increase, if there's enough usage to justify that price, if we should try another newspaper, or if we should try a year of it, if I should renew it at a later time. I was just,
Are
I
you
would,
thinking about if you renew it at a later time and seeing how many people are missing it, because you have no idea how many people are using it?
I mean, we can try it that way to get feedback.
there's no other way to track the usage.
Even the last time I got a report from them, I was a little confused because it talked about the number of off-site redemption codes, but not actually how many times it was used.
Oh, right, right.
And which I know it didn't make sense to me because I know that if you're getting the code, you're probably just going to use it right away. So I don't, I didn't understand the translation. So you know what
Yeah, I can see where that would be. That would be confusing because you have to get a new redemption code every 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right,
And
right.
so,
So it just wasn't clear to me.
I find that very expensive without having numbers
yeah,
tell us who's using it. I mean, I use it all the time, but are there 10 of us that do it or 100?
Right. And
You know,
and I took that into account, knowing that you do use it all the time.
right.
I had that in my head. Um,
yeah,
I use it, especially for the book review,
yeah.
see what books are out there, ordering for the library. And, I'm willing to try it again. I'm willing to see what there's the Washington Post has a package. I don't know if that would do any better.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell. I just don't know, but
Now,
No,
is that's something that other libraries, in other words, maybe this is a silly question. If I go to another library that has this, if I have a sales card, can I access it through, say, Somerset?
um, You know what? You might be able to with the New York Times the way that they do it because
Because all I need to do is go to their digital site, wherever they keep their digital information at
yeah,
the
'cause
library,
yeah,
and
'cause they're-
get my code. It automatically comes up. And if I put my password in, I've already got, I would assume I'd have access
right,
regardless.
right. There's not the same kind of unless they change things up when for this new go around, for this new
Right. I'll have to try it. I'll see what I can find out.
yeah, I feel like West Bridgewater might have a subscription. I don't know if they've changed it, but
Yeah.
if everyone is reevaluating, I have a feeling that bigger libraries might not have had the big price increase that we have because they were closer to the price point. Than,
I see.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
but so that I just felt like it was a really drastic price increase that I have a hard time justifying just doing it.
Well, I think if we, even with the redemption code and sort of the uncertainty of what that actually means, if the redemption code was the number of redemption codes, for example, any one individual that was using it daily would do it 10 times, right? So if we did the math and you told me there were 2,000 redemptions, then we say, well, that's could be 200 unique users, each getting a redemption code every 3 days. Or, could be any number of occasional users who just, and that doesn't even mean that they're using it every day. Just you get the
Right.
redemption code. Some people may just get the redemption code. Oh, I want to read this article in New York Times today.
Right.
And then they don't use it again until the next
Right.
time they're prompted to do that. So do you recall what the numbers were like for?
I would have to look at it again because I think when I do the statistics, I like to plug in the number of sessions
Uh-huh.
as a use and not the codes. So I would have to pull that up to see
Oh,
what that is.
yeah. Well, maybe we can, so did they actually have the number of uses, not just the number of redemption codes?
They have both, I think.
Oh,
And
they have both. Okay. Well,
I would just have to
again,
pull what they sent.
I just think we probably just, if we had, even if we could decide here, what is like for $2,000, is 2,000 uses a good value? That's like $1 per use. Or is it something more on the order of 5 or 6 where we start to think, well, this is worth having? Or is it, we're happy that some people are using it? I don't, that's a challenge with anything, any service that we have. Any subscription that we have is, it may benefit a few people, but the library doesn't, that's part of our mission, is to make things available to everybody, and those who don't use it. We don't make that, we don't make that sort of analysis with books, for example, say, well, we're not going to spend $50 on this book because we think only one person will read it.
No, but if that money can be spent in a better way,
Yeah.
I just went on West Bridgewater site and went to the digital New York Times, and I signed in just like I signed in at your
Here.
library.
all right.
So I would assume I can access it through them.
Well, I'll do a little more analysis, I guess. I mean, we still have our subscription through April sometime, late April maybe.
Okay.
So I'll do some more analysis.
All right. That sounds like a plan. All right. Are we okay to move on?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So strategic plan next.
All right. I wanted to just, I don't know if you had a chance to look at
Yeah, I did. I liked, the use of the photographs was nice, and it had, was, as you, I think it achieved what we were trying to achieve with this, was to make it more appealing to folks. And so I like the use of the photographs, particularly at the beginning, to draw people in, and it seemed to,
Yeah, I thought it looked great.
yeah,
So if you're okay, this is what I'll use to, it's simple, it's nothing fancy,
yeah,
but
right.
I'll
It's-
use this to publicize our,
I think this is what we wanted. Yeah,
okay, good. Do that.
great. Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
All right, and now, whoops, wrong one.
So on to new business.
Yep,
We have statistics.
there you go.
Do you have a general statement of the impact of the pandemic that you could make from, from these statistics?
Um, the library not being open hurts us.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's at least people are not being able to have programs in the building, people not being able to select their own books and browse, people not being able to come together. It takes away from the purpose of the library. People enjoy that the little bits we're able to do, and they seem grateful that we even have that much, but I think we're all looking forward to the day that we have a normal, well, normal in quotes, library. Lori's willing to try to get on the circuit and visit some parks and places around town to provide outreach pop-up libraries this summer to see if it works a little better. Now that we have more of a light at the end of the tunnel, we just have to get through our tunnel. So hopefully we'll, make some more headway that way. But, we still see some, we see some usage in overdrive. But when I spend the money in the ebook collection and in the audiobook collection, that's when the highest usage is. So when the investment is made in those collections, the use is there.
Right. Are we,
And those are expensive. Those are, but it's just, so I try to balance everything, but
yeah. So I was on RB Digital last night, and so they're ending some things on that site. I don't know if they're ones that we are using. I see magazines on here, for example. I seem to be, had you heard that they were?
yes, magazines are effectively over. They're going to really, I've kept it up, but as of the 31st, that'll be down.
Okay.
They're now, all of the magazines are in overdrive, Libby.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really have an ebook or audiobook collection with RB Digital.
Okay.
So everything else is the streaming platform.
Okay. All right. Anything else about statistics?
No, no. Plugging along.
Okay, let's, Allison, you also have to move on to,
Yes, I am.
okay, grants update.
I submitted the various Transforming Communities grant. It's for $3,000 and its purpose is to have, it's a communities engagement grant. It is to create conversation in towns. So I will be going through some training in order to productively lead conversation. And I have suggested in the grant that I would lead a series of conversations on some of the hot topic issues of town. I guess at my peril, I don't know. Some of the issues are, I mean, I guess we're kind of running into keeping older adults in their homes is, you know, some of the things that I've run into through feedback or observation. Overgrowth in town, too much housing in town, which is kind of blowing up right now. Pandemic recovery, not enough business in town. I'm just trying to map out a series of conversations. And in addition to some human rights issues and things. So for $3,000, I'm hoping to get to renew our Zoom license, to get another streaming service like either Canopy or I can't remember the name of the film, another film product. Now I can't remember the name of it. It's gonna bug me though. Films on demand.
Films on demand, okay.
To get a camera, a nicer web camera, and to use some money for programming. So
Okay,
I should know. I should know in a few weeks, I think. They're giving out over 400 grants, so who knows?
great. All right, thank you for applying. In-person meetings memo?
Did you see that?
I did not,
I sent
sorry.
it up. The Board of Selectmen have voted to allow in-person meetings again. I gotta find it.
Is that the little attachment you sent on the email?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They're in agreement with using an in-person or Zoom hybrid method, and that they would be conducted at the Old Town Hall.
Okay.
And of course, using masks and social distancing. I don't know if that's something that you want to do or if you want to continue using Zoom meetings. I would expect there's a lot of competition for the room,
Yeah,
but I'm just throwing it out there that if it's something that you would like to do, we're allowed to do it, to meet in person.
well, let's see if we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's anything that brings us closer to normal while staying within the boundaries of social distancing and other protections, I think is good. So let's aim for April and let's just see how, we have to, like everything else, it's like, where does the public health data take us? And certainly we're headed in the right direction now.
Okay. To piggyback on that, they will, pandemic, I can't remember the real official title of the committee name in town. The Pandemic Task Force, I think it is, has
Mhm.
recommended to the Board of Selectmen that to look at reopening Town Hall and Old Town Hall to the public. I don't know if it's like a mass reopening or if it'll be like on an appointment basis, but they're looking at voting on it at the next Selectmen's meeting on March 24th. So it's possible that we'll be able to offer our computer services again at Old Town Hall. So that didn't really take off the first time around. We weren't quite in sync, but hopefully this time around we'll be better prepared and equipped to do that. So, and hopefully we won't be overcrowded by town meetings and all kinds of things. With,
Yeah.
we'll be able to get in there and provide services for the public.
Okay. Anything else on that, or can we move on to Friends? Meet the candidates night. That's March 29th, right?
7 o'clock
Okay.
by Zoom. I don't know if you know, but there's a contested race for library trustee.
Well, there is. I wasn't aware of that.
Yep. Ann Meitzen, who was on the strategic planning committee and is a friend of the library.
Uh-huh.
And oh God, what's her name? Rita Arujo. Right.
Okay.
So as far as I know, I don't remember, other than the selectmen, I don't know if there's another contested race. I think everyone else is, I think all the school committee members are running for specific seats. Know about any other races? I can't remember, Bob. I think that's that.
Good. Okay. And so under personnel, we have performance review for the director. We will table that. So a future meeting. And what is election day? What's the date?
I think it's April 10th.
April 10th.
It's a Saturday.
So Allison, if you're interested and want to be part of that before your term ends, I'd be happy to schedule something before the 10th, if we can make that happen. So
Sure.
The
Okay.
10th.
let's see if we can do that. We can we can find a time to do it. I think I'd certainly welcome your feedback for that performance review. So if we can get that done before then, that would be great. So let's see if we can.
Sounds good.
Is this 10? Like so Thursday evenings around this time are best for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could try for the 25th or the 1st. Yeah, let's see if we can get Eve on board with that, and with enough notice for me now to like have it on my radar to work on that towards that goal. I'd really like to do it before your term is up, Allison, so you'll have the opportunity to participate. So let's see if we can pull that off.
Yes, I would like to participate in the evaluation since, yeah, that's something I would want to do before I leave.
Great. Okay. We'll find a way to make that happen.
Oh.
I think it's more just scheduling than anything else. How are we doing for time?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Good. Just a few more things anyway. The
Okay.
programs.
So you want to talk about the upcoming programs?
Yeah, March was such a tough Thursday month. The Friends had a meeting last week, and then a lot of these programs are the collaborative effort with our 5-town library programs with Berkeley, Fall River, us, Somerset, and Swansea. And that's been pretty successful. And we have like ours tonight is the attracting birds, bees, and other beneficials. We have 51 people signed up to come,
Wow.
which I would never have been able to get that on my own without the efforts of the other 4 libraries. So yeah, it's been good.
So that's this evening, right?
That's the one that's this evening.
Okay.
I
Great.
appreciate you squeezing in a meeting. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm really pushing.
No, that's good.
The Science Comics is one led by Berkeley. It's a children's program. It's a comic book author talking about how he creates comics. Heidi Chivaroli is a local author. She grew up in Dighton, but she lives in Swansea now, and she's written quite a few books and has a pretty good following. Baby Sign Language is a series of programs led by Berkeley. Poetry Workshops is led by Somerset, and it's just creative writing through poetry. Lori has been a big help. Not only has she been working on her popular children's craft kits, she's given out, I think, close to or over 600 children's craft kits
Mhm.
this time. We started an adult, I can't pronounce the word, but it's that Danish word that looks like Hygge, but it's not Hygge. It's the Higge that means comfort.
Uh-huh.
And we made 12 of them. Well, Lori made 12. We just collaborated on the idea. And they were gone in less than a week. I sent out it was in the newsletter, and
Mhm.
2 of them went like that. As soon as the email went out, we got 2 calls. And then most of them were gone in the weekend. So we're gonna do more of those for adults. That was successful, so we're working on it. She started filming herself doing crafts for the kids, and people are watching them and making them along with her, and she's putting that on Facebook Live and keeping it on Facebook. So that's been successful too.
Good.
And there we go.
That's great. Okay. Um, if there isn't any other business, then I do want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the many years of service of Allison to the library trustees, and we will find soon on the other side of the pandemic, or as things get better, a more fitting opportunity to acknowledge your work and celebrate your work with us in support of the Dighton Public Library. You will be greatly missed as a member of the trustees, but we know that your commitment to the library and its contribution to the community will continue. So thank you, Allison, very much for your partnership. It's been a pleasure having you on board.
You're welcome. I will miss everyone, and I wish everyone the best of luck going forward, and I will continue to be involved. It's been a good trip for me. I really enjoyed everything we've done together has been awesome. Thank you.
Allison.
Thank you. But perhaps this won't be your last meeting, so
Perhaps.
try to get one more before you're done. So thank you again. Anything else, Jocelyn? Okay.
No.
And then can we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting of March 18th, 2021.
Okay, that was Allison making a motion to adjourn. This is Ron O'Connor seconding the motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Aye, Allison Sembalisti.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Thank
Good luck with the
you.
program. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.